Imagine living in a town so remote, so cold, and so strange that the simple act of dying is actually illegal. You heard that right. In this town, if you're about to die, the government can have you removed. If you die there, they won't let you stay. They literally can't bury you. Longyearbyen is one of the northernmost towns in the world, deep inside the Arctic Circle. A place where the sun doesn't rise for months, where polar bears outnumber humans, and where even death itself is banned. Today, on Quick Weird Fact, we're diving deep into the icy, chilling reality of a town that said no to dying. Stay with us for the full story. What you're about to hear is not fiction. Is it really illegal to die in Longyearbyen? Technically, yes, but not in the way you might think. There's no police dragging you out of bed if you feel sick. No death penalty for dying. But local law makes it prohibited to be buried in the town if you die there. Why? Because in Longyearbyen, the dead don't rot. The ground is frozen all year round. That means when you bury a body, it doesn't decompose. It stays frozen, preserved, just like the day they were placed in the ground. In fact, some of the bodies buried there during the Spanish flu epidemic in 1918 are so well preserved that scientists found active traces of the virus in them nearly 100 years later. So yes, if you're terminally ill, you'll be politely transported to the mainland to live out your final days. If someone dies suddenly, their body must be flown out. No graveyards here. Longyearbyen is located on Spitsbergen Island, part of the Svalbard archipelago in the Arctic Ocean. It belongs to Norway, but sits closer to the North Pole than to Oslo. Population? Just over 2,000 people. But they live in a place that feels like another planet. The town is surrounded by mountains, glaciers, and wilderness. There are no roads to connect it to other cities. Everything comes by boat or plane, and the sun disappears completely during winter. From late October to mid-February, it's just darkness. Then, during summer, the opposite happens. The sun never sets. That's right. They experience midnight sun for months. Oh, and one more thing. Everyone carries a rifle. Why? Because of polar bears. They're not just cute animals here. They're real threats. You're legally required to carry protection when leaving the town limits. Longyearbyen used to have a graveyard back in the early 1900s, but then something strange happened. Bodies weren't decomposing, not after 5 years, not even after 50. They were just frozen in time. During a study in the 1990s, scientists exhumed some bodies from the Spanish flu pandemic. What they found stunned the world. Skin still intact, organs barely deteriorated, traces of the 1918 influenza virus still present. That raised a terrifying question. Could these bodies still be contagious? Experts feared that if global warming thawed the permafrost, ancient viruses might be released. From then on, the town made it official policy. No burials allowed. Cremation became the norm, and death, for all practical purposes, was no longer welcome. If you live in Longyearbyen and you get a terminal diagnosis, what happens? Doctors will arrange for you to be transported to the Norwegian mainland. Why? Because medical facilities in the town are limited. They have a small hospital for minor injuries and emergencies, but serious medical cases are referred elsewhere. If you're elderly, it's also recommended that you move away in your final years. It sounds cruel, but it's practical. The town simply can't deal with death the way other places can. They don't have morgues. They don't have funeral homes. They don't have cemeteries. In Longyearbyen, life must go on. Living in a place where death is so taboo, so hidden, so logistically difficult, it changes how you see life. Residents often describe feeling like they live in a suspended reality. No births in the hospital, no deaths in the town, just people existing, No sunlight for months, constant isolation, polar bears, and a tiny, tight-knit community. Mental health becomes a real challenge. But strangely, people choose to live here. Why? For the peace, for the silence, for the sheer adventure of it. Longyearbyen isn't the only place with bizarre rules about death. Itsukushima, Japan, known as the Holy Island, where birth and death are banned near the shrine. Celia, Italy, passed a law that made it illegal to die, to force residents to go to the doctor more often. By Miram, Brazil, in 2005, officials tried to ban death because the cemetery was full. These laws may sound silly, but they all come from the same place. Towns facing unique environmental or cultural challenges with mortality. Could you live in a town where you're not allowed to die? Where the ground refuses to let you rest? Where death has to be shipped out and life continues uninterrupted? Longyearbyen is a beautiful, haunting place, but it reminds us just how strange, creative, and resilient humans can be when faced with the impossible. If you found this story weird, wild, and worth sharing, hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe to Quick Weird Fact for more real stories that sound too strange to be true. We'll see you in the next one. Drop a comment. Would you ever visit a place where death is banned? Or better yet, would you dare to live there?